ramp up. And good Wednesday night. It is October the 8th, 2025. We're at 7:36. We would have been on at 7:30, but there's three of us here. One of us was made us a little bit late. I'm not going to mention any names. Is he wearing the Eagle stuff? Maybe not. Is he wearing the black hat? Maybe not. It might even be me. Maybe not. But anyway, hey, welcome. Got a really good show tonight. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. That is, a lot has transpired in the last 2 weeks in college football, and but a lot has transpired in the last 48 hours. And it's my understanding that there's been some things happen even in the last 2 or 3 hours down in Chapel Hill. So got a lot of stuff to talk about. Welcome, Jonathan. Welcome, Trevor. Trevor, how you two doing?
Good.
Great.
And let me just say this, UCLA. Let's just start out by just saying, Jonathan, can you say it with me, bud? Say UCLA.
God.
What happened? I just want Trevor to sit there to start with. Just let him sit for just a second, because the Penn State Nittany Lions, supposed to be God's football team, rolls into Los Angeles in front of a crowd of about 8,000 people in the 100,000 seat Rose Bowl, and truly, all joking aside, UCLA played their guts out. They played their guts out for this coaching staff. They had 2 days to get them ready, and that's a devastating. And all joking aside, I'm messing with you, Trev. That's a devastating loss for Penn State, but you got to tip your hat to those guys at UCLA.
Yeah. Like I told y'all last week, I said this is a difficult game for them coming. You don't have an HC, you don't have an OC, you don't have a DC, you don't know what you're game planning for. If you don't show up right, bad things happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And can you hear me, Jonathan?
Yeah, your screen's frozen.
Yeah, I'll try to work on that. You guys, but talk about the total interim coaching staff, Jonathan, at UCLA, and they literally had 2 days to get this thing put together to play one of the going in, you're thinking one of the top 5 teams in the country, and they have been a total train wreck. So talk about that real quick while I try to work on my stuff here.
Well, yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's kind of bad when your OC doesn't even know which button to push to call the play in, because he's never done it. I'm not saying it's his fault, but what comes to my mind, honestly, Trev, is I'm trying to think how to say it, is sometimes naiveness is a good thing. And if you just don't know, you know what I mean?
Certainly.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't know what you're doing, sometimes going out there and just playing helps. And I think that's kind of how they called that game, watching some of it. Sometimes there was no rhyme or reason why they called certain plays, but sometimes that plays to your advantage. Almost like backyard football. And that is hard to stop sometimes. Now, granted, Penn State, I do not think was there emotionally. I think you're right. I think they overlooked that game after the Oregon loss. They're like, all right, we've got so-and-so after UCLA. I mean, I don't know if they did, but they weren't there all the way. Defensively, they were not in the game. UCLA had to lead one time this season. You don't give up 42 points. It just, I don't know. It just something seemed off.
Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason for a defense that's supposed to be that good with Jim Knowles as the DC to allow UCLA to score that many points. What was it, 42? I think it was 42-37. Well,
Here, hey boys, can
Yeah.
can everybody hear me? Let me tell you what we're going to do here.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what we're going to do real quick. I'm going to stop this and I'm going to resend the invites and we'll come back on because something is kind of out of whack here. And I'll Trevor just go ahead and let me and just clear out and I'll get back to you and I'll send you the invite within 30 seconds and we'll get back and start over.
Sounds good.
Okay, bud. Thank you.
Hey, I think we're on, Jonathan. I think we're live. If somebody, this thing's, I apologize, guys. I apologize to everybody, to you two, and to everybody. This is weird. I had to move to my iPad, so I'm sorry. It says we're live. If somebody could tell me in the comments that, if we're good or not, but let's just keep talking. So I apologize. Something happened to the laptop. That was weird. But anyway, tough loss for Penn State. And I know that Coach Franklin, that people are really saying a lot of negative and pretty wild things about Coach Franklin. He's a really good football coach. The bottom line is he hasn't won any of the big ones. And I know that the pressure's mounting, and I know that a lot of folks think he won't be there next year. I don't see that happening unless they fall apart the rest of this season.
Okay, that's fine. They lost. They lost to UCLA. They haven't beat. He's 2-1. What is it, Trevor? His
2-16.
All right, so he's 2-16. He's a hell of a rebuilder, but he doesn't win the big game. I mean, it is what it is. I don't see them firing him. That's not. I do not see that. I do potentially see them going, hey man, we're probably going to part ways. You might want to look for a different job. But here's the thing. I'm not resigning if I'm him. Give me my buyout. I'm not resigning. I want my buyout.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. But I think it would take a catastrophic end.
Okay, but look, that's the part of the business. I ain't resigning. You can sit here and we can publicly do whatever, but at the end of the day, I'm going to look out for me like the school's going out for them. In that sense, if I'm him, I agree with Trevor. We've talked about this. I don't think he's the coach at Penn State next year. I don't think they fire him. I don't think he quits. But I do think that somewhere when we start seeing some other jobs come available, I think his name might start being mentioned and that be the way out. Kind of like Dabo. Because here's the thing. Dabo's living in the past. He has in a business that in the last 5 years has actually turned into the literal definition of what can you do for me now? What can you do for me now? And he's not doing it now. I see the same thing happen at Clemson, South Carolina, where it's not, hey, Dabo, you're fired. But I don't think Dabo's not happy. Obviously, the Clemson brass is not happy because he keeps mentioning it. I think this is Dabo's last year in Clemson. I think he's somewhere else.
I think he's in the TV booth. I think he's sitting beside Saban on game day.
He's not. He's already said he's only 55. He's still going to coach. He has straight up said it.
Yeah, but I know that.
I get it, but there's going to be too many jobs. He's going to coach. In a market that Jimbo Fisher said he wants to coach again. John Gruden wants to get into the college game. Coach Ogeron said he wants to coach again. Not necessarily as a head coach, but whatever the right fit is. There's too many good, big-name coaches that are available for some of these big-profile schools to not move on. Say it that way.
Yeah. And I see only 3 scenarios with Penn State with James Franklin. He loses to Northwestern this week, and they fire him. Call like it is. You lose to UCLA and Northwestern back-to-back weeks, you're fired. He finishes out the season, and they don't make the playoffs. He steps away or he's fired. One of those two is happening. And the third scenario is they run the table, sneak into the playoffs as the Big Ten champion, and win it all. And he stays. That's the only way he stays at this point.
He's not getting into the Big Ten. He won't get into the Big Ten championship game because he's got 2 losses.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's got to sneak into the playoffs somehow, and
he's got to sneak in and get a lot of help. Yeah, he's got to be. They're going to have to be the 12 seed. They're going to have to get a lot of help to get in, beat the 5, and then screw around and beat the 1.
Yep,
100%.
4.
Hey, real quick, because I love the fact that we're live in the Major League Division Series. At the end of 7 at Wrigley Field, the Brewers are up 2-0. The Cubs are up in this game 4-3. If the Brewers win tonight, they go on to the NLCS because it's the best 3 out of 5. In the middle of the third, Blue Jays 1, Yankees nothing. Blue Jays are up 2-1. Earlier game today, Tigers 9, Mariners 3. They're tied 2-2. They go back to Seattle for the deciding game 5 tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. And at 9:08 tonight, the Dodgers are up 2-0 over the Phillies, and they're playing in Los Angeles. And the Dodgers are playing like everyone anticipated they would before the season started, as they cruised through the regular season, kind of didn't play like they didn't. Just let me get to the playoffs, and boy, they've ramped it up. So that's what's happening live in baseball. I guess the next big story, and I'm going to put this thing that says question and answer up here. I think that's what it's going to be. I know that we have people watching this on all the different platforms. Ask us, I want people to engage in the conversation with us. So type in the comments about this next subject if you want to. Jonathan, your perspective when we talk about Chapel Hill in Carolina, you have such a different perspective than everybody. You were literally in the room with Coach Belichick for about 18 months. You were part of his program, and what's happening, so your perspective is really more hands-on than anybody else. What's happening in Chapel Hill is
I've called it from the get-go.
It's a train wreck.
Well, yeah, I've called it from the get-go, guys. He was never going to be the coach for a full year. Go back and look at our text messages. Go back and look at any of these shows. I called it from day one. He only took the job when it was contractually written that his son becomes the head coach the day that he's either fired or resigns. It's that simple. No coach in their right mind takes a buyout from $10 million down to $1 million within 3 months of taking the job. Okay, it was contractually written that way. But once again, Carolina signed the deal with the devil. This is on them. This is 150% on North Carolina's administration.
It's not the athletic director.
I get it, but a guilty by association. Guilty by association. All
because
right? They didn't want to hire him.
The information that's come, correct.
By association. You work for the University of North Carolina. You hired Bill Belichick. That's part of it. If you didn't want him hired, you should have came out in public and said, nope, we're not doing this. He didn't. 150% on them. That's simple. It's that simple.
So what has happened in the past 4 or 5 hours that you know about?
That's what I'm getting at. All of that being said, he was never going to be the coach, right? Then the whole ordeal with his old college-age girlfriend, which is weird in itself. Just call it like it is. All right? All of that. She's on the sideline. She's this, she's that, blah, blah. Then Bill coming out and having
the book tour.
Well, no. Him having beef, I guess you would say, with the New England Patriots and not allowing their scouts and not allowing North Carolina. And yet, as of 2 days ago, or no, yesterday, sorry, no North Carolina staff member was allowed to tweet about Drake May and the New England Patriots. Yeah, coming from Bill. So there's a lot of whatever beef there is, but look at the history. Look at the history. Trevor, you said the stats today. Correct me if I'm wrong. Without Tom Brady, Bill Belichick's winning percentage is like 42. Oh, that was you. Fine. Who cares?
That's me, Kurt Ball.
Right, that's fine. But it's like 42%. With Tom at 70. Yeah. With Tom at 76. Players can make good coaches. Bad coaches can ruin good players. And there's a lot of scenarios. I'm not saying he's a bad coach. I'm saying he's under the table, schemer that doesn't do things the right way. On my way home, I saw another article, and Trevor sent it to you on Instagram, that said all of this is stemming from recruiting violations. Carolina's probably going to get a pretty good reprimand here from the NCAA. and the fact that he treats people horribly. The parents of the recruits aren't happy. Hey, by the way, that's your fault for even listening to him because you knew his track record. Sorry, I'm going to be real here. People got oohed and awed and, oh, my God, it's Bill Belichick. Well, Carolina fired Mac Brown, who actually did things pretty morally by the book, I guess you would say. And then we got to get younger, and you hire a guy a year older than Mac Brown? Just because you said younger doesn't mean because he's dating somebody 50 years is younger. That should be your first red flag if you're North Carolina. So then you get him contractually right that his son is the head coach guaranteed when he leaves. Why do you think all this is happening? It's all been a ploy. He's never cared about the University of North Carolina. He's never cared about one of the players or recruits or coaches or blah, blah, blah. And so they signed a deal with the devil. And the report I also saw that said there's a lot of people inside the building that do not think he will coach the next game against Cal next weekend. That's how fast this is moving.
Yeah, because that's really just a goofy schedule. They played, then they had last week off. They played Clemson, then he got this week off. So there's basically 2 weeks for whatever's going to happen. Because if he coaches against Cal, he's coaching the year out.
No, guys, listen. There's no if what's going to happen. They already have their head coach. It's in the contract. So there's no. It's just he leaves and his son's the head coach. It is what it is. There's no coaching search. There would be no coaching hire. There's no interviews. It was contractually written. His son is the guaranteed head coach in waiting. This was all a ploy. It's the only reason why he took the job. So the second that he was like, all right, I'm out, deuces, fire me or I resign, his son instantly is elevated to head coach and has a contract in place already with the university. This is 100% on North Carolina. It is. They signed a horrible deal.
I get it. But stop for just a second because I never defend some of these people. But I am going to defend Bubba Cunningham in this. Bubba Cunningham didn't even want to interview him, and the trustees and the powers that be forced him to do this.
Then that's okay. Then that's where if you know that you're right and you know it's bad, you go just like everybody else to the media and to ESPN. I don't want to hear it. That's a ploy to save his own butt. It's a dog eat dog world at that level. I'm not listening to that and saying, "Well, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it." And then next thing you know, it goes back. I don't know. No, because you could stood up at the moment and be like, "Nope, this is not right. We're not doing this. You can fire me and give me my buyout. I'll go somewhere else." But did that happen? Nope. I don't want to hear that. Just as guilty as all of them in my mind. I mean, and I'm not trying to be harsh about it. It's just how I feel about it because I feel bad for the players.
It sounds harsh.
They didn't ask. They didn't. Yeah. Facts are facts, but the players didn't ask for any of this. They didn't. One of my friends is my boy, Rod Conley. His son plays there as a nickel corner. He didn't ask for this. He signed with Mac Brown. Khalil did not ask to go through any of this stuff. Like that's why I feel bad for it.
Trevor, are you there or are you frozen? Trevor's frozen right now. So Jonathan, if he coaches against Cal, he's the coach the rest of the season.
No, he's not. Or Trevor's back. Go ahead, Trev.
Okay.
Yeah. Did we get okay? I'm back.
Yeah,
sorry.
Good.
My internet's acting up here. We're changing directions in the house. All right. No. So pretty simple. If you didn't see this coming, that's on you.
Yeah,
I can't.
But what I'm saying,
you could not see this coming.
Yeah, I totally agree. We're all on the same page. But I am saying, if he coaches against Cal next Saturday, he'll be there the rest of the season.
No.
0.00% chance.
When these reports come in, that means everything's already started. Whether he coaches against Cal or not, he's getting his $1 million buyout, and they're setting up the contract with his son. Otherwise, these reports don't get out. That the higher-ups have already had these conversations, blah, 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 blah. He's willing to negotiate. You saw the other report that said all he's waiting on to leave. was either a quote unquote soft landing spot in coaching or a spot in the media. And if as soon as he gets one of those, he's out. Those
Well,
reports,
I'll say this. I don't know that there is an owner in the National Football League that would bring him on.
his coaching career is
He's
done.
damaged. He's beyond damaged goods.
Well, even if nobody in college is going to hire him, his coaching career is done. Now they will hire him on like NFL Network or somewhere like that, 100%.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Once all these reports come out, that's when things are being worked in motion to get him out. He wants out. He didn't want this job to begin with. Because anybody that ever thought he wanted this job was delusional. Sorry. He did it to get in. Now, from a family standpoint, from a father-son standpoint, I don't blame him for going, I'm guaranteeing my son a head coaching gig, because outside of that, he probably wouldn't have got one. You can't blame him for North Carolina signing it. It's the same thing with Jimbo Fisher, okay? In the sense of when Texas A&M hired Jimbo Fisher, every coach and their contracts at that level, their buyouts are, you have it in your contract and it's tiered. But if I fire David Crompton and David gets $1 million a year, but then Trevor hires David at $500,000 a year, then I'm only paying David $500,000. You can't make more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Texas A&M said that doesn't work. We don't care. We'll just give you the whole buyout. Go earn your money elsewhere too, so you can double dip. That was a stupid deal by Texas A&M. That was a bad deal. So they paid him $77 million to leave, knowing he could go wherever he wants to go. He's going to get somewhere next year, and they're still going to have to pay him the rest of the 77 plus what he's going to make somewhere else. North Carolina made a bad deal. It's that simple.
All right, boys, let's move on. I'm going to go through some games, and Coach Hawkins is hopefully Coach Hawkins will be with us next week, and the Monday boys, so we can harass everybody at one time. Ohio State is traveling to Champaign, Illinois. Number 1, Buckeyes against 17 Illinois. The noon kickoff on Fox. I think Illinois can kind of hang with them a little bit, but after what Indiana did to them, I think Ohio State did. You can't pick Ohio State after what you said last week, Trevor. You said it, but anyway, Ohio State big. Maybe not a blowout, but Ohio State. Boys,
I got Illinois.
You do not.
Illinois.
I probably. First off, you do not. Virginia called it. Florida called it. So don't tell me that I'm not taking Illinois. All right. And the reason why, and me and Coach Hawkins have talked about this, I do think Ohio State's the best team in the country. I do. I really do. Right now, it's hard to trust their offense. And if Illinois' defense can keep them in the game, I think Illinois wins because they've got the more experienced quarterback. Now, is Ohio State the better team? Yeah, hands down they are. But the better team doesn't always – no, they are. Player to player, Ohio State's a better team.
He can't help himself. Coach Hawkins is going to punch him tomorrow.
But what I'm getting at is you can't –
It is.
I think Illinois, if they keep it close and they're in it in the fourth quarter, I think they win. But that I guess that's going to be my, I wouldn't say like upset of the week, because last week I think it was more of an upset with unranked Florida, but that will be my sleeper of the week game.
Okay, and so you both got Illinois, and
Illinois by 2 touchdowns.
oh my God.
All right, I'm not saying that. I got them
He's just talking. He's just talking because Coach Hawkins has got a baseball bat close
14.
by. Good God.
14.
Number 8, Alabama traveling to Missouri. Number 14, Missouri. 4-1 Alabama at 5-0 Missouri. Man,
Mizzou let the better or Penn State let the better quarterback go to Missouri, and he's balling.
Picking Alabama is like pulling the wings off of angels for me. You know what I'm saying? It's God, because you always go pick with your head, not your heart. But picking Alabama is really hard. So I got Missouri in a close one, but I'm going to say this: I really like the guy coaching at Alabama. He's weathered the storm with some of with the morons and the idiots and the big mouths and just the standard idiot fan, but and he's got those kids playing pretty well. But there's just something about that guy at Missouri and the kind of kids he's got in there. And like you said, Jonathan, I agree with the fact that quarterback play is so big, and that kid at Missouri is kind of a baller.
And
Close game, but Missouri
I said
close.
It before, like when he transferred from Penn State, I was like, I don't think he's that good, blah blah blah, only because he was just a Wildcat package guy. Well, all he's done is went to Missouri and go 5-0, thrown for 1,203 yards and 9 touchdowns real fast, and playing really well. I'm gonna take Mizzou. I really am. I think that honestly, I think they're a sleeper in the SEC. I do.
Trev?
I think Bama handles business.
Okay.
I'm gonna go against Missouri just out of spite at this point.
I know. I was gonna say that was a spite.
Yeah.
That was a spite.
I'm ready, Trevor. I'm ready to go.
Trevor, you can't
listen to me. Listen, only older people my age are going to understand what I'm going to say next, and you'll hear Janet go hooray when I say this. When we were growing up on Saturday mornings, they had these things called Schoolhouse Rock, and you always had they had the one with the everybody in the stadium, and this one kid would always stand up and go, "Hooray! I'm for the other team." That's Trevor. Hooray! I'm for the other team because he's just
let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, I know Schoolhouse Rock. I'm not that young. Okay, Conjunction Junction, what's your function? I know all about that.
Were you and Jonathan the same age? Jonathan, man, did we do such a bad job of raising you? It's your mother's fault. It's Janet's fault. I'm looking at it. It's Janet's fault.
I watched The Simpsons growing up. All right.
Okay. Pitt is the noon kickoff on ESPN. Pitt is traveling to 25 Florida State. I got Florida State.
First off, let's go down this road. Let's go down this road.
Here we go.
Let's go down this road. Okay? No.
Let's
time
this one.
Hear me out. You're going to tell me, you're going to sit here with a straight face, and you're legitimately going to tell me that Florida State deserves to be ranked.
I don't care about that.
No. Hear me out. Over Texas and Penn State still? Truthfully, that Texas or Florida State
deserve to be ranked.
No, you're going to tell me that Florida State deserves to be ranked over Mississippi State? That their only 2 losses are to Tennessee and A&M? Like that's garbage to me. That is the voters actually admitting we ranked Florida State way too high, way too fast off some horrible, bad non-conference wins outside of Alabama, and we can't drop them out this quick because that would arguably would have been the quickest unranked top 10 unranked in history.
Well, pick the game.
So, that being said, fraudulent State University will lose again.
You know your brother-in-law is keeping score for you.
And have I been wrong on him yet?
I'm just telling you, he's keeping score. Trevor,
have I been wrong on him yet?
Trevor,
Florida State. Florida State beats Pitt because Pitt's terrible.
Number 4, and this won't take but a second, and we will only be on this one a second. Number 4, Ole Miss is hosting Washington State. Ole Miss big.
We could say we're going to move on quickly, but we also said, a couple of y'all said UCLA big last week. Is this the game that Ole Miss loses that they're not supposed to win?
No. Lane's got them playing.
Ole Miss wins this game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
Ole Miss wins this game.
And here's where we're going to have a major debate, and we can't spend a ton of time on it because I want to keep moving through the schedule. But number 7, Indiana, is traveling to Oregon. They're both undefeated. Oregon's 3, Indiana's 7. This is not a blowout. This is not a blowout. Indiana can play with anybody in the country. I love Coach Signetti. He owes Janet $20. He owes your mama $20.
Okay. No, listen. Great. They've Indiana. What has he done? Sorry, Trevor. Outside of being the James Franklin 2.0, he loses to everybody he's supposed to lose to, and he beats the team he's supposed to beat. Penn State was literally ranked number 7 days ago. 7 days ago. So I don't want to hear just because they're ranked number 7.
I know.
Because I don't believe in Indiana. I do not believe in Indiana. I got Oregon beating the piss out of them in Eugene, Oregon.
I got it
Oregon
close.
might beat them. Oregon might beat them by 4 touchdowns. Like athletically,
Oregon,
they're not hanging. What happened last year when Indiana played Ohio State? The first time they played somebody good, they got drugged. Absolutely
I have it
drugged.
close.
Same thing.
I have it close, but Oregon should win the game. I love this guy. I love everything about him. He's bright.
I get
He's
it.
a great coach. Kids will run through a brick wall for him.
I get it. And
he does
guess
it
what?
the right way.
The wall in Eugene, no, they don't. He paid the whole team. It's literally he do it the right way. He dropped a non-conference schedule game because he wanted to be a prick. He literally paid half his other team to come. They ain't no doing it the right way. He's
Oklahoma.
doing it today's way. He's doing it today's way. So choose your
Oklahoma.
words.
And you want to talk about motivator?
Oklahoma and Texas in the red whatever something rivalry. That I don't know why it's an SEC game.
Here we go.
Oklahoma. If Oklahoma's quarterback was playing, I'd say it wouldn't even be close. But I still have Oklahoma winning the football game.
Apparently, he is going to play.
Yeah, there's rumors that he might play, but you ready? Tejas.
Archie's not playing well.
Oh,
God, hold on. Stop giving me these faces. Who's the one calling the underdog shots this year and been accurate? Not you guys.
listen, I've missed one. I've missed one.
So you got Texas over
Anyways,
Oklahoma, Jonathan?
I do.
Really?
I do.
But
Not
but
chance.
tell me, who is the best defensive mind in the country in your
Oh
opinion?
no, ain't no doubt, Brent Venables. But
Yeah.
listen, this should tell you what they think about it. Oklahoma is only 1.5 point favorite.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now.
Like if they're only if they were a 4 to 5, then I'd be like, okay, this tells you Vegas does not believe in Oklahoma at the moment. Now, if the
That's just a
quarterback
history
plays,
thing.
I get it. But if the quarterback plays, how healthy is he this quick after surgery? I have no idea. I hope he plays because I want it to be a good game. I really do.
Yep.
I think games like this are fun to watch. But I also think Sark will have some sort of stuff like this. To me, should be a really good Oklahoma defense versus a Texas offensive schematic game.
Well, let me ask
Because
you a
got one of
question.
the defense.
And don't give a real long answer because we got to keep moving forward. But in watching Texas play this year, and I know that you believe that the two best schemers and play callers in the country are Lane and Sark, and it's not even close. But I have not seen any of the crossing patterns that he's so famous for. I haven't seen any of the plant throw, a quick game, 3-step drop. None of that seems to have, and I'm not putting all that on Arch because wait a minute, let me finish my thing. If you don't play well up front, you can do all the crap in the world, and anybody think you can't run and you can't throw. If you don't block, you can't do garbage.
No, you're
Make it
right.
block.
But here's the thing. You also have to understand how teams are going to play you defensively. Crossing routes and everything are for man-to-man. They're not getting a lot of man-to-man this year. So the crossing routes are just there to be there if you run them. So there's a lot more than the average person ever thinks going into game planning on what to do versus this team and this team and blah, blah, blah. But no, all that being said, yeah, you've got to play well. You don't play well up front. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you've got Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, and, the bus all on the same team. It doesn't matter. If you can't block, you can't win. I agree with that. And that's part of what happened to Penn State. Trevor, we talked about that, the Oregon game. That's what worries me about Tennessee right now. I'm just being real. That's what worries me about Tennessee right now.
Don't talk about them yet.
No, I know, but I'm just saying. But I'm getting it more in the sense of that's what happened. So yes, it is going to be a battle of one of the best offensive minds in the game and the best defensive mind in the game in my mind when it comes to schematics. And that's why I hope the quarterback plays at Oklahoma, because I want a good game. I really do. I love when rivalry games like this are neck and neck. You never want to blow out as a fan. You just don't, especially in one that's a neutral site like that. But that being said, I do think if it's close in the second half and especially fourth quarter, I think Texas wins, because the average person will look top 10, unranked, just got beat by Florida. They shouldn't be in this game, and that'll be motivating Texas in my mind.
So you both have Texas.
No. Trevor went Oklahoma.
Oh, Trevor, Trevor went Oklahoma. All right,
Horns
real
down,
quick.
Oklahoma.
Georgia Tech over. I got Georgia Tech over Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not a big believer in the rankings, but if they win this game, they might be able to sneak into the top 10, which I love the fact that Georgia Tech's playing good football. I think it's good for the ACC. I think it's good for Southern football for Georgia Tech to be relevant and to be good. Notre Dame is hosting NC State, 4-2 NC State at 3-2 Notre Dame. I think it's a close football game. I think it's a low-scoring football game. Notre Dame should win by the home field advantage, boys.
I got Notre Dame by about 10. Notre Dame's tailback Love is a dude. Just get the guy the ball in whatever way you can think of it outside of the run game. Get the guy the ball.
Okay.
But I got him by 10. I think another job that is available in January is NC State. So, yeah.
Trev, who you got, bud?
Notre Dame.
Okay. And in Colorado, up in Boulder, you got 5-1 Iowa State at 2-4 Colorado. I got Iowa State winning the football game, but boys, I'm telling you, and this is a serious thing now. Man, Coach Sanders had another blood clot operation yesterday.
I think it was number 6. They said of surgeries. Colorado's job may be open, not by anything other than health issues.
I think he's very, very sick.
Yeah.
I saw some of his press conference after the ball game the other day, and then man, let me tell you, you don't play around with blood clots. And how many is this, Jonathan? Because I know you. This is he's hurt.
I think they said this was surgery number like 16, because they've already had to take part of his foot.
Yeah.
So this, and what I think happens, everybody that ever watches us on here or talks to me about it understands I am a Deion fan.
Yeah.
As a coach, is how he treats the players. He teaches them how to be fathers. He teaches them how to save their money. He loves on them. He spends some of his own money helping them go to dental school or things like that. So I think this may be a time that he self-reflects and may hangs it up and just goes and be around his kids playing professional ball.
He gets healthy because he's very.
That's what I'm saying. And personally, as much as I love him being around the game, I kind of hope he does for his own health benefits.
Yeah.
I really do, because I do think he's a really good human. I would hate to see it from the football standpoint, because he has revitalized that whole program. I know the wins aren't there this year, but he's revitalized everything in that program where they're relevant again in so many ways that that would be hard to see, but hopefully he's okay. That being said, I'm going to pick Colorado out of the team kind of lifting up around him.
Okay. I still got Iowa State. Who you got, Trev?
Iowa State. I think they're.
Yeah. And
they're the better team.
And Coach Campbell will not be at Iowa State next year. Coach Campbell is going to be a football coach at one of these jobs, these major jobs from Iowa State that's coming up. In the Motorcycle Bowl, and in Knoxville, Tennessee, the 4:15 SEC game. The Vols are hosting Arkansas with Bobby Paterno. I've got my girlfriend on the back of my motorcycle and crashed it and lied and lost my job. Went to Atlanta and lost that job, and now I'm back and stabbed my best friend in the back. And now I'm the head coach after he got fired last week, and I got the Vols playing really well. Arkansas is going to play well for Bobby. They're going to play well, but I got the Vols winning. If my caveat is, it goes back to a lot of the football I've seen this year. Can you play well from tackle to tackle? And if Tennessee does not play well from tackle to tackle, this could be an upset alert.
Yeah, well, it's the same boat. One, Tennessee's the much better team.
Yes.
Tennessee does struggle with mobile quarterbacks. Tennessee's in the same position right now Penn State was in, of even though he was on the staff, but new interim head coach, got rid of the defense coordinator, so you don't know what they're going to do defensively. You're kind of up in the air guessing on how things are going to go. Both coming off of bye weeks, so they've had a week as well to prepare what they're going to do without Tennessee knowing. So Tennessee's got to go out there and play their game and play fast. Hopefully they get a couple more kids back from injury. But it's in Knoxville at 4:15. I've got Tennessee winning by 10 or a double-digit win, because Arkansas cannot hang with the fast-paced, big play of our offense. It's just a matter of can we stop the mobile quarterbacks?
Okay. Trevor?
Yeah, here's the difference between the UCLA game versus Penn State and Arkansas versus Tennessee. Arkansas is coming to Tennessee. I don't see any way that they come into Tennessee and win that ball game. I think Tennessee's a much better team. I think if UCLA had traveled to Penn State, it's a different ball game, but it's not what it was. So I think the comparisons are there, but the big difference between the two is that Arkansas has to go to Tennessee, and I don't see Arkansas pulling it off at Tennessee.
Give me the winners, because I want to kind of speed up here. Florida, off the big win over Texas, is traveling to Texas A&M, 7 o'clock ESPN game. A&M's 5-0, 2-3 Florida. I think it's a close football game. Florida's very talented, but you got to go Texas A&M, and I got it in a close one. Texas A&M. Give me a winner, boys.
I got A&M big. They're going to prove that they're that much better than Texas.
A&M big.
Texas Tech hosting Kansas, 5-0 Texas Tech. The 7:30 Fox game, 7:30 p.m. Fox game, 4-2 Kansas. Texas Tech might win the national championship, boys. They got a legitimate chance. But I got them winning.
We're going to find a better 7:30 game than Texas Tech Kansas.
That's all they got on, but it's Fox. What do you expect?
I'm just saying, Texas Tech. I'm just a 7:30 game. You think it'd at least be two ranked teams? Yeah, but Texas Tech.
Georgia and Auburn, the 7:30 ABC game. I got Georgia, but it's close, and I'm telling you, Georgia's very beatable. Yes. I don't think, and I love I love that kid's moxie, the kid playing quarterback for them, but he's
just okay. He's just okay.
Yeah.
He's Jake Fromm 2.0.
Who you got?
Ooh.
Who you got?
Georgia.
Trev?
Georgia.
And 15 Michigan is traveling to the LA Coliseum to play both teams are 4-1. That's the 7:30 NBC game. Southern Cal and Michigan. Guys, I got Southern Cal.
I do too.
I picked Michigan. I think they're too physical for USC. I don't think USC is going to be able to score enough points.
I wish Lloyd was on here tonight. We got South Carolina traveling to Baton Rouge. 4-1 LSU is hosting 3-2 South Carolina. The South Carolina quarterback is healthy. I think this is a really good football game. LSU's really talented, but I don't think I don't think they're all that in a bag of chips. And I got a close football game. And if South Carolina's quarterback is healthy and they keep him clean enough, I would say it in an upset. But right now, I don't know. I got LSU in a close football game.
South Carolina, this is Kelly's last year at Baton Rouge because he's got one of the highest paid rosters in the country and just can't win it. Another job I think is available at the end of the year, and I think this game starts the downfall.
Boy, I wish Lloyd
Told
was on
you.
here.
I told you, LSU,
You
the
did.
most fraudulent team in the country. They're losing this ball game.
You
Florida
two
State.
guys use fraud a lot. You two turds use
They
fraud
are.
a lot.
Am I wrong? I
I'm
told
not
you Ole
saying
Miss was
that.
going to beat them up.
I'm not saying that. BYU is traveling to
There-
5-0. BYU is traveling to 4-1 Arizona, 8:00 ESPN2 game. I think it's another close football game. Aren't you a big believer in BYU, Jonathan? Or
No, quarterback wears 47. Not happening.
Okay, so I got Arizona. I'm going to say upset, even though I don't think it's an upset. I got Arizona.
Arizona because the quarterback wears number 47.
Yeah, you
That's
keep
my
saying
only
that, and they just keep winning. They just
That's
keep
my
winning.
only-
It'll be like my picks. It'll be like my picks with Ohio State. I'll keep picking against Ohio State. You keep picking against BYU. BYU is the best team, in my opinion. They're going to win the Big 12. They're going to upset Texas Tech in the Big 12. I'm telling you right now, BYU.
Okay, and then you got
BYU.
21 Arizona State 4-1 traveling to 4-1 Utah, 10:15 ESPN game. I'm going Arizona State. I know you guys are probably not, but I'm going
I
Arizona
am.
State.
I will. I'll go Arizona State. I like Arizona State. I do. I just don't think they're as good as last year. That's all.
I like them too. Saw a video today where the head coach was literally squirting water on the football as the quarterback was throwing it because it's supposed to be a really rough weather game. With that said, Utah wins.
All right. UCLA traveling 3 time zones over to go to Michigan State. You got 1-4 against 3-2. It's the noon kickoff on the Big Ten Network. There'll probably be 45 people watching it, plus Peter. Our good friend Peter Clay is the voice of the Spartans in the stadium. So I never pull against them unless I have to. So I'm going for the Michigan State Peter Clays. And I say they're going to win.
I got UCLA. Why not? I mean, I just don't think Michigan State has produced with what they were saying they were going to get from guy coming from Oregon State and bringing the quarterback Childs with him. I'm not a believer in them sustaining anything really. That does not mean I'm a believer in UCLA. But I got UCLA.
You guys are too slow. Who's going to win the game?
Well, first off, this is whatever the hell we want to talk about.
Don't make me come up. Don't
Just
make
saying.
me. I will bust you up.
I actually give analysis.
I will bust you up.
Hey, Nico Iamaleava, or however you pronounce that last name, is
Iamaleava.
0-4 in cold weather games and
That's
loses
true.
against Michigan State. Fun
North-
fact of the night.
Northwestern is traveling to Not So Happy Valley. Both teams are 3-2.
You said
FS1
to throw that
game
in there.
3:30. It's the 3:30 kickoff on FS1. I got Penn State winning, but I don't think it's a blowout.
I think Penn State might hurt Northwestern's feelings. I do.
Penn State by 50. Let's go.
All right. Pick with your head and not your heart. Pick with your head and not your heart. I don't know where I've heard that before.
That's the guy next to me, not me.
First off, when I
Except
say
we talk about the runner.
do I not pick the winners when that happens?
And 4-1 Nebraska is traveling to 4-1 Maryland. Look, man, I love what that guy's doing at Maryland. I love what's happening. I know that you're not a fan of the quarterback at Nebraska, but he's building something there. But I got Maryland in a really close, and there's a lot of close ones I keep saying. I got Maryland in a close. I like their quarterback play.
I like Maryland mainly because I'm not a believer in anything Nebraska is doing.
Fear the Terps.
So let's go Turtles.
Fear the Terps. Trevor's freezing up again. Keep talking, Trev. We'll hear you in a minute.
Maryland wins this ball game, even though I said they would lose to Washington last week, and they did. I'm picking Maryland this week.
And let's see here. Man, we got to talk about something that happened last week. The quarterback for Western was like 52 for 54. Now, they didn't throw for 600 yards, but man, 52 for 54. The Catamounts are hosting. What now? Say that again.
53 and 56.
Yeah, 53 and 56. And they're at 2:30 out here at Cullowhee. It's on ESPN Plus if you can't make it to the game. They're 3-3, but they have turned the corner offensively, and their defense played a little bit better, and they are hosting 4-1 Furman. This is a true rivalry game. And there's no way I'm going to pick against Western this week as well as that kid's playing. My big issue is the way that it's set up now is as great as that kid's playing. He's not going to be in Cullowhee next year. And you hate that for the people. You bring him in, you coach his butt up, you get him.
That happens everywhere. It is what it is.
Yeah, I get it. But I'm just saying I hate that. But anyway, I got Western.
I don't until they start recruiting local. I don't hate it at all.
Okay, but I got Western.
Furman.
I
could be spiteful.
Yeah, okay.
Furman.
But boy, that kid's playing lights out. Mercer, the Mercer Bears are traveling to play Princeton. I love Ivy League football, but I got Mercer on the road playing Princeton. I got Mercer.
One of my old college teammates, Evan Barr, is strength coach at Mercer. So let's go Mercer. Rooting for them. Love what they got going down there. So rooting like crazy for them to do well.
And so as we get closer, all right, men, boys, crazy guys, as we get closer to when rankings really matter. Because again, right now, I just think it's garbage. It's garbage. It's just talk for people like Feinbaum just to run his ridiculously stupid mouth.
Well, they got to have something to talk about. That's what it is.
God almighty.
No, dude, let me tell you, there's two people that I have no use for. Bruce Pearl, and it's very personal for me. Very personal. And Feinbaum is just the kid that growing up that in class you probably looked at and said, I'm taking your lunch money. And now he thinks he's some kind of football god.
Almighty.
And he's from Knoxville.
Good.
He's from Knoxville, and he's treated the volunteers like they're garbage. And to be in that position, when you're supposed to be, and I'm being serious for a minute, when you're in that position and you're favor one program over everybody else, I just think that's not good. Look, if I'm a fan of Auburn, if I'm a fan of Tennessee, if I'm a fan of Georgia, if I'm a fan of Florida, if I'm a fan of anybody, because he's always been pro-Alabama. And in his position, I've always thought that was wrong. And I'm being really serious.
But let's call it is, ESPN. They all do this. They all do the same thing. I'm not agreeing with it. It's just that's the same reason why there's rankings and there's preseason rankings. So they can keep their jobs and have something to talk about in the offseason because there's nothing else to talk about. When football's over, what are you going to do? We're going to talk about next year's rankings.
Yeah. Well, tell me this.
About the Heisman winner for 2030 and 2020, or at the end of the year in 2028. Like,
Boy, they sure missed it this year, didn't they?
yeah, because nobody can predict the future. That's the thing. But they have to have something to talk about. So they write the narrative. So they write the narrative early. And that's, unfortunately, I'm agreeing with you here. Unfortunately, that's where teams do get, certain teams, I guess you say, each year do get a little more leeway and favoritism. Because once again, there's no reason Mississippi State should not be ranked. There's not. They're a good football team this year. There's no reason that Virginia should have not been ranked earlier than they were. Well, because of the teams they were beating. That's the stuff that annoys me, is there's always the narrative. And if you have the big brand, the second you win one game, let's bump you. Let's put you in there, aka Florida State. They jumped them up way too soon, and now they had to retract it. So yeah, you're right. Rankings don't mean anything until the first college football playoff ranking comes out. They don't.
So let me ask you guys a question. As we sit here right now, if the season ended today, on October the 8th, who is your top 4 college football teams in order from 4 to 1?
4 to 1?
As we from number 4 to number 1 and start at 4. As we see here right now, who do you think today?
I'm not
saying in January. I'm talking about today. Who's the best 4 college football teams?
Trev, you want to go ahead?
Oh, I'm thinking on this one, buddy.
That's a good question.
I think it's easy. Based off of everything I've seen right now, I think your top 2 right now, if you were forced to here.
Hold on a second. Let me make it easier for for all of us. Okay, hold on. Let me make this easier.
No,
I want to, because it is Texas Tech one of the top 5 teams in the country?
Well, no, hold
yes
on. We'll give our rankings real quick.
Okay.
Yeah. My top 4 right now today: Ohio State, Oregon, Ole Miss, Miami.
Okay. There's not a lot to argue about with that, Jonathan.
I have a hard time in the sense of, technically speaking, it would be in 1 would be Ohio State, 2 is Oregon to me, 3 would be Miami, 4 is Ole Miss. But then I instantly go with, when is Ole Miss going to Ole Miss and lose the game they're not supposed to lose? And it's hard for me to say Ole Miss, so I'm not going to say Ole Miss.
Yep.
I'm going to say Texas A&M over Ole Miss.
How close is Oklahoma?
I'm not. No, they're up. They're up there, but I don't think they're top 4.
Even with a healthy quarterback?
Not yet. I don't think so. I mean, they're on their way, but I don't think they're top 4 yet. But I would say they're top 7. I'd say top 7.
I think they're 8 or 9.
Okay.
So I wouldn't argue that. Then I wouldn't argue if they were anywhere in the top 10. I would be like, I can get on board with that.
Now,
yes, 100%.
Something else so I'm kind of changing, kind of flipping around a little bit here as we go, but the rumor is, and this was pretty well documented in a bunch of places in the past couple of days, but really today, Florida State and Clemson have settled their beef with the ACC. So they're not leaving the ACC for 5 years.
I wonder why.
Now wait a minute, let me finish, but in 5 years they're gone, boys. They're gone. In 5 years they are out of here and they're going to the SEC. Florida State and Clemson are gone. But my question is, stop, because what does that do to Carolina? Because Carolina, to me, is the brand of the ACC.
they're not leaving. They're not. It's all a ploy. It's all about money. You're going to sit here and tell me that you're a president of a university and you're literally going to go, hey, man, we can't beat Virginia year in and year out. Let's go play Tennessee, Florida, Alabama, and Georgia. Let's do it. Let's do it. No, not happening. They're the class of the ACC. You're going to go from the top dog to going, you're my homecoming game. I'll call you in a few weeks. Not happening. It's all about money. They're not going to ruin their national brand. Texas and Oklahoma can compete. Florida State and Clemson, not a chance. No.
Okay, we're going to argue about this. Then we're going to argue.
Especially after
because
Dabo
I've told you since you were a kid.
I get it, but the SEC wasn't that when I was a kid.
Let me finish. Clemson is an SEC football school. They in a baseball school, but there's no area. There's no difference to me in between the ACC and the SEC in baseball. They're just better than everybody. But Clemson is a perfect SEC football school.
How?
Oh, come on, man.
No.
Everything about it is the SEC.
No, it's not. Because hear me out. Ready? I remember growing up and going there every weekend. They won 4 games. Build the guy a statue. Build him a statue today. You won 4 games back then. That was like, yeah, let's go play. Let's do it. Let's go. They can go compete because it was nobody had at that point, people were just starting to get into the 100,000 people stadiums. They were not putting in the $100 million facilities at that time. They weren't doing everything they're doing. They weren't winning 9 out of 10 national titles at the time in the SEC. Florida State was still that class. Miami was still that class. It ain't that way anymore. You bring Clemson to the SEC, they are 100% 7th. You're not going to – and when Dabo leaves, not a chance. I'm not a Dabo guy, but Dabo's done a phenomenal job for that
500 program at best.
At best. Once again, I'm not a Dabo guy, but what he's done for that program has been tremendous. But you also saw what happened when Brent Venables left. It didn't start. It's not going well, is it? It's not going well. They're 2-3. They beat Carolina, who's about to can their coach too. So no, they don't. It's all a ploy. It's all about money. They settled their beef with the ACC so they could be we're the top dog still. It's not going to happen. It's not. I see Carolina leaving before I see Clemson and Florida State because of basketball.
Man, I cannot in a million years.
I said only because of basketball.
Yeah, but in my mind, in my perspective, when you say the ACC, when you say the Atlantic Coast Conference,
I get it.
I think of Duke. I mean, I think of Carolina. I think of Duke. I think of Wake Forest. I think of NC State. I think of Maryland. Maryland should have never left.
Listen, I get it, but you got to understand. I'm not being rude when I say this. This isn't your childhood anymore when it comes to the conferences.
That's not what I'm. Man, don't make me come punch
I know,
you.
but no, but I'm being serious. When you think of Texas, do you think SEC?
No.
Big 12. You hear Oklahoma, you think Big 12 championship game. You hear Oregon, you think Pac-12. Southern Cal, you think Pac-12. Really, you think Pac-10. And then it became the Pac-12. Things do change. But those programs are sustainable. Those programs have had like actual, not 12 to 14 years worth, but decades worth of sustainability. Clemson has not. Clemson has only been relevant. I grew up a Clemson fan. Everybody knows that. Clemson has only been relevant since Dabo's second and third year. That's it. So in the grand scheme of things, yes, to a lot of this younger generation, like, oh my God, Clemson is top dog. They are now, but they've not always been that way. Alabama, I would have went to Alabama if they were good. Alabama was never good when I was growing up. They were good because of Nick Saban. Now you see, oh crap, They got beat by Vandy year 1 and struggled with them year 2. Oh, what's going on in the world? Because Alabama's going to get a slap of realization in the face, aka so would Clemson. So would a Florida State. Week in and week out. Now, they would beat the Kentuckys. I get it. You know what I'm saying? They would beat those teams like normal. But then you got to go. You think you're going to honestly sit here and tell me that playing in Neyland Stadium at night is like playing at Florida State at night? Not a chance. Like playing in Happy Valley at night? Not a chance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like playing in Michigan or Ohio State, or going down to Auburn or Florida or Georgia at night? Not a chance.
I think Clemson is.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not even close. It's not even close. Go look at every voted top 15 program stadium to play in. They're not on there. Guess who's on there consistently at number 1? Neyland. Guess who's in the top 3? Penn State, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State. You don't hear ACC teams.
Hold on.
Guys,
Before Lloyd had a heart attack, you better say Baton Rouge. Lloyd will die.
Exactly. No, but we played at Keenan Stadium at 7:30 at night. Like, that's not. I'm not slighting the ACC. I'm just saying that when it comes to money, that's why they're going to stay in the ACC, is because they are the top dog. They would be dumb to leave, is what I'm getting at, from a money perspective, because you would lose revenue.
And the ACC will pay them accordingly to stay in the ACC. Because without Miami, without Florida State, without Clemson.
Yeah,
What's going to happen
I get it.
Virginia Tech, guys, I'm going to tell you, if I'm a coach at the college level and my name is mentioned at Virginia Tech, that to me is a destination. To me, Virginia Tech is a destination job that I retire. I know that's what I'm getting at, and I say I'm going to retire my butt at Virginia Tech, and we're going to bring this thing back and win, because you got all the resources. You bring Michael Vick as your general manager, and you bring that program back, and now you look at the ACC. Now they're going, oh crap, we got Miami and Virginia Tech from the old Big East rivalries back. Let's go. That's how the ACC gets back relevant, not leaving and skipping town to become middle of the road in another conference, in my mind. Because once again, if I'm a coach, especially if I'm a high-profile coordinator, or I'm a Jimbo Fisher, or I'm a John Gruden, or somebody like that, and my name can be mentioned at Virginia Tech, I'm on the phone today with my agent going, give me an interview today. I want to go to Blacksburg today and interview, because the resources you got, it's just.
You know who's going there?
Who?
I can see this happening. The way this season has progressed. What does Virginia Tech need? What's the one word they need? A rebuild,
Jimbo
right?
Fisher.
James Franklin.
I was going to say
James Franklin.
No, Jimbo Fisher.
Well, no, watch this though.
Jimbo could
Here's
end up at Penn State.
I was going to say Jimbo would be a great fit at Penn State, but guess another one. Dad, don't hate me. Do not hate me. Another one that would be a great, in my mind, great fit at a Penn State, a great fit somewhere like that on Arkansas, Brent Key, Georgia Tech. I know you're saying he's a Georgia Tech guy. I get it.
Yeah.
But money talks.
Talking about money, and talking about the ACC, and I can't believe when I say the ACC, I'm talking about this program. Today, a former football player in this program who graduated in 1964, $50 million to Stanford.
Let's go Stanford.
When Stanford's good, college football's good. College football's better. College football's better when Stanford is good. They are.
Well, first of all, Andrew's going to do a good job of getting the right people in place. Let me tell you, in all your travels and all the stuff and all the people that were a little older and a little younger than you, he was the most impressive that I ever was around.
I'm going to tell you, though, mark my words. Frank Reich's only there for an interim this year. I'm not saying this time. I'm not. No, whoever Andrew hires, Andrew Luck's the head coach after that guy. He's good, guys. He is one of the best football-minded individuals on this planet. He is,
Yeah.
And he's genuine. He loves Stanford. Did you see the video of him shaking the players' hands after the game, even though they lost? All this stuff, like an individual trying to get all of their, like, you want to play for somebody like that. You want to beat your opponent. Do not get me wrong, but you also, like I say, you want to win a class, you want to lose a class. You want because that shows parents and recruits and admin going in the right direction because he cares about the game. Like I could see Andrew Luck being not this one, but the next head coach at Stanford. I really could, and I hope that happens personally. I do.
I think it's good for football.
I do too.
Yeah,
I do. I really do.
And so, I totally disagree with you guys about Coach Franklin. Coach Franklin, unless they just don't lose another, don't win another game. Coach Franklin's the head coach this time next year in Happy Valley. It's just not going to happen.
Well,
Not a chance.
but here's the
Not
thing.
a
I
chance.
don't know. Watch his mannerisms or interactions and stuff. Like it's kind of the same thing with Dabo. He's starting to chirp back at the fans. He is. And I think he's
James is always
changing. No, but I'm just saying, like, I think it changes scenery is kind of what he's needing. I don't think they fire him. I don't think they come to him and go, I don't necessarily say they come and go, hey man, find a job. I think it may be one of those is like, hypothetically, Virginia Tech's open and Virginia Tech and his agent's like, hey man, they're willing to do this. And he's like, I'm going to entertain it. I think it's a situation kind of like that he's just willing to move on. And say, I've kind of got us where I can get us and root the program on from afar, but just somewhere else. I don't think there's bad blood there. I don't think there will be bad blood there, but that's just where I see it. I'm going to root for him wherever he goes. I don't think it's going to be in Penn State.
And just real quick,
I mean, Penn State's been a relevant top 10 program for minus 2020 for the last 15 years almost now with James Franklin running it. But he's never gotten over the hump. And I've been his biggest supporter saying, yeah, why would you get rid of a guy like that? When you lose a game like you lost last week, you start to scratch your head and go, it's time.
Because here's the thing. All right, you'll get this reference. You don't ever want it to get to the situation that Tennessee let it get with Philip Fulmer, where he stays 4 years past where he needs to stay and got to the point where he just didn't care, didn't discipline players, didn't do any of those things, and the program went into the tank for 15 years. I think kind of that's where Penn State's at the crossroads of going, we know you still got life in you, coaching life. I just don't think it's going to be in Happy Valley.
Okay.
Because of multiple things. Same thing with Dabo. Dabo's got 15, 20 years left of coaching if he really, truly wanted to. I just don't think it's going to be in Clemson, South Carolina.
Okay. Bottom of the sixth, one out. Blue Jays 2, Yankees 1. If the Blue Jays win, they eliminate the Yankees. As we said earlier, the Tigers beat the Mariners, so they're 2-2. I think they play tomorrow. Maybe they got an off day and they have to do it Saturday. In the winner of that moves on. The Cubs ended up beating the Brewers 4-3, so that's 2-1 in favor of the Brewers. And don't sleep on the Brewers, Ben. And the Dodgers
let's go Dodgers.
The Dodgers are red hot. And they're going to start in about 15 minutes out in Los Angeles. And it's another night where I don't sleep, so I'll just watch baseball anyway. Anything else you guys want to talk about sports-wise before we get off here?
Very quickly. Is Coach O a head coach or
Yes.
position coach next year?
Head coach.
You think he's a head coach?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the reason I said is because he said it didn't have to be a head coach, but he's itching. He's wanting to get back wherever the situation is right. He would go. I just don't. What do you think, Trev? You think he's? I think he's coaching next year.
I could see him ending up at like USC if they parted ways with Riley out there. I can see him getting back to the West Coast. I just don't know. But that's one of those spots that I go, I think that's a spot that if Lincoln Riley can do well.
No. Whoa. A UCLA gig. You need somebody to revitalize a program.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that.
I will tell you something.
Because he
Coast.
recruit his butt off, and he will revitalize a program in a heartbit.
Your senior year, your senior year in Knoxville at the University of Tennessee, Lane brought in your coaching staff was just different level. The people he brought in, and he brought in Coach O as the defensive line coach, assistant head coach, and you played on the other side of the ball, and you would have run through a brick wall for him. Man, he was just every day that you'd see him. I remember he never even knew when the first time he saw your mother, with that and made a big to do over your mom out there. Now, he could have been hitting on her. You know how he is.
But that's what makes him a good recruiter. Is he does his homework on the families and on the players, and kids want to play for him. I mean, he used to fly in his buddies from New Orleans during camp when we'd have our certain nights of the week for dinner, and they would do crawfish or shrimp bowls for us, and they would homemade cook all day for us while we're at practice, and he would fly them in on himself, on his own dime. That type of stuff. The kids do want to play for him. He's the definition of what you see is what you get. There is no fakeness about it. What you see is what you get. All right.
Yeah. He's not a great X and O guy, but he doesn't need to be a great X and O guy.
He doesn't need to be. If you the only time you really got to be is if you're calling the plays. You know what I mean? If you're the head coach or you're just a D-line coach at that level, you just go get them D-line drills, or you hire the really good coordinators around you.
Yeah, because he's probably the best defensive line coach in the nation.
Yeah, Trevor, I don't hate the UCLA deal though for him, because who else would really want to take that program? I could see that because he loved his time at USC. He loves the LA area. That's not a bad one. That's not a bad call.
He's got big enough personality for LA. He's got the personality to handle LA.
No, that actually, I could see that almost being a match made in heaven for UCLA if they really want to revitalize that program. I mean, truthfully, last two, is John Gruden a college coach next year?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah, my answer is really quick. Yes.
I think he is. Do you not?
I don't think so. I think he's having too much fun doing what he's doing now. I know he said it, but I just don't see it.
I think he, if not this next year, the year after, but I think he's going to handpick the job.
Let me just tell you why.
It's got to
I say
be.
Yes. And let me tell you why I say yes. When you're a gym rat, okay, you can do gym rats are real gym rats, and like I'm looking at one, and when he came to me and he turned down some coaching jobs and some other things and said, I just want to come home and be with my family. I'm done with this stuff. I'm not going to do this. And then you don't. Because it's in your blood, and you put up with anything to be in there and be with the kids and build the program. And Gruden's the same way. He's a freaking gym rat, and he wants to be in there. He wants to be in the battle. No matter what you got to put up with, you want to be in the battle. You want to be in that locker room. So yes, I say yes wholeheartedly.
I agree with you in the sense of if he didn't want to, he wouldn't still watch film and game plan for not even coaching.
But he can't go back. He's not going to go back to the NFL because they're in the middle of that thing, and they're going to end up paying him hundreds of millions of dollars.
No, exactly. He will not go to the NFL. I think if he coaches at college.
Yeah.
But the fact of there's nothing like game planning. Games are fun. Games are you work all week for that. But the rest of the time is when the coaches enjoy it because you sit there and it's literally you're playing chess with yourself and your staff mentally trying to figure out the best ways to do this. And that's what Gruden loves to do. That's why me and Trevor get along so well in the film room because we just sit there and how would this work? Blah, blah, blah. What would you do here? How would this work? That's what's the fun part about coaching. That's the reason why I think he does coach, if not this year, next year. But he will handpick the job that he wants to go to. He's not going to go to a UCLA in my mind. I don't think he's going to go to UCLA in the shape that they're in. But I do think he coaches this year or the year after, and I think Jimbo is a head coach next year somewhere.
What else? What else you guys got? I'll answer because I'm better at answering than you guys. I got better answers.
I'm good. I'm tired. I want to go to bed.
I'm just smarter than y'all.
Yeah.
You two might be smart.
Whoa.
You two might be smart, Alex, but I'm just smart.
Hold on. Based off my Virginia and Florida picks.
Based off our record on.
Oh, hold on. I've got. Here's a question. All right. This is a legitimate question because I'm gonna cause a conflict between Janet and you guys. Sweet cornbread or regular cornbread?
It depends on the occasion. If I'm eating chili or beans.
Say it, Jonathan. Say it.
No.
I want her to hear
Listen.
you. Say it.
Let me finish.
Don't be gutless.
Let me finish. If it's beans or chili, you got to have regular. If I just want to eat the cornbread by itself, then I would go sweet. But unless I take the cornbread, cut it in half, and put a little bit of nice little sweet butter on there, and then I can still eat it.
Trevor,
I'm going sweet cornbread all day. Hit me with the sweet cornbread
with a bunch of butter.
Raw.
Now, one more thing, this will cause bloodletting. Your grandmother's banana pudding.
Always grandma's.
Look at his face.
I'm always listen. It's
Look
grandma.
at his face.
Because
your Grammy's watching.
I'm not going against Fortune.
He's trying to cause the biggest controversy in 2025.
You would sit here. You would go against your own mother. That shows what type of son you are.
No. Wow.
Listen, I'm not trying to be drug into these family issues here. I'm out of this.
But watch this. Watch this. This will really, Trevor, this will piss him off. Hey, Mom, I hear you in the background. Can I get some pinto beans and cornbread next week sometime, please?
You like Granny's banana pudding better than mine.
She just kicked you to the curb.
No, I don't actually. I do not. This took a turn.
Go get your own lunch, boy.
Miss Janet, I'll take whatever you want to cook for me. I'll love it better than anything ever.
No, you won't. You took sweet cornbread. You already messed up, Aaron.
You know what?
Janet makes banana pudding without bananas.
Yes.
That's stupid.
No.
That's the way to do it.
She makes banana pudding. Trevor, listen to me, son.
It's called
She makes banana pudding without
I'm going-
bananas.
I'm going to bed. I'm tired.
All right. I love you guys. Everybody have a great week. We'll be back Saturday. Hopefully we're going to hopefully we have a really big show on Saturday. Everybody take care of yourself. Be good to each other, and you two have a good week. See you guys. See you tomorrow night.
See ya.
Bye-bye.